Hi everyone, I'm Heidi from Susan's family. Today, I'll teach you the Chinese aesthetic series, the Blossom Hair Accessories, the floral version. It includes 5 pairs of hair clips. For convenient explanation, I will number them separately as number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. The making method for each pair of hair clips is the same, and they are assembled symmetrically. Let's start by learning the making method for hair clip number 1. This hair clip is divided into the main part, pendant, ribbons, and assembly. First, crochet and make the main part, then make the pendant, ribbons, and finally assemble. The main part is divided into the fan, small flowers, and leaves. Let's first learn how to crochet the fan. The fan starts with a magic ring, works around, then begins crocheting back and forth to form the fan shape. Finally, crochet 1 round along the edge. The stitches used include chain, CH, single crochet, SC, slip stitch, SL street, single crochet increase, SC 2 in 1, and 3 single crochets in 1 stitch, SC 3 in 1. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crocheting method. We should learn the basic posture for crocheting before formal crocheting. To make it easier for everyone to see more clearly, I'll use thick yarn for the demonstration, with random colors. For specific yarn, color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Let's start with a magic ring. Pick up the yarn with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail around your left little finger once. Pass it through between the middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between the left hand's middle finger and thumb. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert it into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around the hook. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue with 1 chain stitch to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop. 1 chain stitch is completed. Pull tight. The magic ring is now done. Next, we'll work the first round. Start with 1 chain stitch as the beginning chain for the single crochet. This chain does not count as a stitch. Then work the single crochets around the ring. Insert the hook into the loop. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through in once. 1 single crochet stitch is completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there is a V-shaped pair of threads. This is the stitch of a single crochet. 1 stitch represents 1 single crochet. Continue crocheting single crochets downward. Insert into the loop. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Draw through the 2 loops on hook. The second single crochet stitch is finished. Crochet 4 more single crochets downward. Check the stitch count. Then close the magic ring. There are 2 loops in total. Gently pull the starting tail first. One of the loops will be movable. Tighten the movable loop. 1 loop remains. Simply tighten the yarn tail. This will close the loop. Next, end with a slip stitch in the first single crochet stitch of this round, which is at the second braid from the left side of the yarn tail. 1, 2. It's this large braid. If you cannot tell where the very first stitch is, you can also count back from the last stitch to find the correct one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still this stitch. Insert. Yarn over. Hook the yarn out, and draw through all the loops on the hook once. Slip stitch completed. This is the braid formed by the slip stitch. The slip stitch that serves as a connection between the beginning and end doesn't count as a stitch, it needs to be tightened. To prevent accidentally adding extra stitches later. So, this completes the first round. Now start crocheting back and forth. For row 2, first, make one beginning chain to start. The single crochet starting stitch does not count as a stitch. Then, work one single crochet increase into the first single crochet stitch, which is where you would normally insert your hook. For a slip stitch, this means making 2 single crochets in the same stitch. As you crochet, keep the yarn tail from the cast on above the hook, and weave it into the fabric as you go. 1, 2. Single crochet increase, SC2 in 1, is completed. Continue with the corresponding stitches downward. Then make 2 more single crochet increases. That completes the second row. Trim the excess beginning chain yarn tail. Continue with the third row. Begin with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Then turn the piece counterclockwise. Then work 1 single crochet into the stitch below. Note that since it's on the wrong side of the previous row, the V-shaped loop above the single crochet is its stitch. Which means you should pick these 2 strands to work. Continue by picking up stitches and making a single crochet increase. Then work 2 more single crochets. One single crochet increase. And 1 single crochet. That's how you finish the third row. Move on to the fourth row. Start with 1 chain stitch. Then turn the piece counterclockwise. Pick up the single crochet stitch below, which is the braid above on the left, and work the first single crochet. Don't forget this one. Hook this row following the chart all the way down. That concludes the explanation for the fourth row. Rows 5, 7 are all worked back and forth. The methods and stitch techniques have been explained. You can refer to the previous demonstration, follow the chart, and complete them on your own. Next, I'll use the completed sample swatch to teach you how to count rows. The texture of the right side of single crochet is made up of V shapes. The texture on the wrong side has 1 thread across the top. This is the first round. Upwards. Count the rows alternately by the right side and wrong side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th round is to work a round of edges. Make 1 beginning chain to start. Turn the piece. Then refer to the pattern and crochet until the second to last stitch of this row. At the designated position, work 1 single crochet with 3 stitches in 1 stitch, which means working 3 single crochets into the same stitch. The single crochet with 3 stitches in 1 stitch, SC3 in 1, is completed. Count downwards. Insert the hook into the edge gap between each row of stitches, and work 5 single crochets in the corresponding positions. Then, pick up the remaining 3 single crochet stitches from the first round, and work 3 single crochet increase stitches in sequence. After completing, pick up the edge gaps between the stitch patterns on the other side, and work 6 single crochets in sequence accordingly. Finally, fasten off. Pick up the first single crochet stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Do not tighten this slip stitch. Stretch the loop. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, then cut the yarn. Tuck the yarn tail from below the second stitch on the left side to the wrong side. Then hook it through the center of the slip stitch braid to the wrong side. Slightly tighten to keep the braid texture consistent on both sides. Finally, on the wrong side, weave in the ends following the texture. Trim any excess yarn tails. That's it, the fan is completed. The side with the clearer braid-like texture of the last round should be considered as the right side of the fabric. Keep the right side facing you on one straight edge of the fan, near the first round from the end, and another near the third row. Glue on 1/2 bead. Take out the glue stick. If you have a hot glue gun, you can use it for attaching. If not, you can burn the glue stick on the flame. Remember to use the inner flame as much as possible, so the glue stick won't turn black. Then apply the melted glue. Remember not to use too much to avoid affecting the appearance. Start attaching the half beads. Since the glue stick dries quickly, try to be fast and accurate when attaching. On the other straight edge, symmetrically attach 2 half beads as well. The method is pretty simple. Everyone can do the attaching on your own. Set it aside for later use. Next, Let's learn how to crochet small flowers. Start with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The new stitch technique used is double crochet increase, DC 2-in-1. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, take the corresponding color of yarn. Begin with a magic ring. Then crochet the first round. Start with 1 chain stitch. Then work into the magic ring loop to make 5 single crochets. After completing, tighten the magic ring slightly. Then slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Insert the hook, yarn over, and draw the yarn through. Pull through all loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. This slip stitch should not be pulled too tight. The first round is now completed. Move on to the second round. Start with 2 chain stitches. Then, in the same stitch, make a double crochet increase. That means you'll work 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Begin with the first double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, which is the slip stitch spot from the previous round. Pay attention to weaving in the ends. Yarn over, and draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and pull through the first 2 loops. There are 2 loops remaining. Yarn over once more, and pull through both loops. 1 double crochet stitch is complete. Then work 1 more double crochet, yarn over, insert into the same position. Yarn over, and draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Repeat this step once more. 1, 2. The second double crochet is now complete. 1 double crochet increase has also been finished. Then work 2 chain stitches and join with a slip stitch to the same stitch position. Slightly tighten it. We consider this double crochet increase, and the 2 chain stitches crocheted before and after it, as well as, along with the following slip stitch, as 1 petal. Continue to work on the second petal. Start with 2 chain stitches. Then work a double crochet increase in the adjacent stitch on the left. One, 2. Now we completed a DC 2-in-1. Next work 2 chain stitches. Then join with a slip stitch to the same stitch. Slightly tighten. The second petal is now complete. Behind, as established. Work 3 petals on the remaining 3 single crochet stitches. Pay attention to the last petal. After crocheting the following 2 chain stitches, slip stitch to the first round on the slip stitch braid that hasn't been tightened. Then tighten it. Secure with 1 chain stitch. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, then cut the yarn. Weave in the ends on the wrong side. You can weave in a bit more. Trim any excess yarn. That's it for the explanation of this small flower, with the clearer texture side of the braid, as the right side of the small flower. Then stick a half bead in the middle of the right side. You can complete it on your own. Next, let's learn how to crochet the leaves. Start with a chain stitch. Work the corresponding stitches on the cast-on side. The new stitch used here is half double crochet. Now please watch me demonstrate. The detailed crocheting method is as follows. First, take the corresponding color yarn. Hold it with your left hand. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Place it under the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot doesn't count as one stitch. Gently tighten. Now make 6 chain stitches. The right side of the chain looks like this V-shaped braid. A braid represents one stitch. The loop on the hook does not count as a stitch. Next, pick up with the hook from the left side, the top half loop of the second chain stitch. 1, 2. Which is this strand of yarn. Work 1 single crochet. Pick up the adjacent half loop on the left side of the next chain stitch below. Work 1 half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through all the loops on the hook in once. That completes 1 half double crochet. Pick up the half loops of the chain stitches above, moving from left to right sequentially. Make 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over and draw through. Yarn over again. Pull through all 3 loops on the hook in once. Half double crochet completed. Finally, make 1 single crochet. Fasten off the yarn. Secure with 1 chain stitch. Enlarge the loop. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail and fasten off. Tie the beginning and ending tails with a double knot. We will use the side with the clearer braid-like texture as the right side of the leaf. Weave in the ends on the wrong side by yourself. Cut off. If you're worried about it coming undone, you can also use a little glue on the wrong side to secure the yarn tail in place. That concludes the explanation of the small leaf. The end without the yarn tail is the tip of the leaf. Plus refer to the pattern and crochet another leaf as a backup. Next, we'll make the pendant. First, take out the metal chain. The chain has a small metal bead every certain distance. To use it reasonably, start cutting the chain from one end in sequence. Here, cut the part of the chain between 2 beads. Cut 2 segments in total. Then cut one of the segments in half to take half of the chain. Keep the removed metal beads and the other half of the chain well. as they will be used for the hair clip pendant later. Now insert the thin sewing thread through the gold needle. Tie a knot. Try to make the starting yarn tail as short as possible. The knot needs to be secure. Insert a metal bead. Then insert it into the knotted loop. Next, insert a water drop bead, with the larger end facing down and the smaller end facing up. Then insert one end of the cut short chain into the metal ring. Pass it back through the water drop bead and the round hole of the metal bead. Then pass it again through the water drop bead. Repeat this back and forth process a few times. Finally, tie a knot between the two beads. Hide the yarn tail inside the water drop bead. This way, the water drop beads and metal beads are assembled well. Then, following the previous method, prepare the needle and thread. Tie a knot. Insert the sewing needle into the other end of the metal ring that has already been connected to the teardrop pearl metal chain. Pass it through the knotted loop. Then thread it through two smaller pearls. Next, pass it through the metal ring at one end of the long chain. As before, run the thread back and forth through the metal rings on both ends of the beads to secure them. Finally, tie a knot between the two beads. and weave in the ends. That concludes the pendant explanation. Next, we'll make the ribbons. Cut a piece of thin satin ribbon with a length of 20 centimeters. The color of the sample swatch is not for reference. I'm only demonstrating the method. It's already cut here. Burn both ends with fire to prevent fraying. With the shiny side facing away from you, fold both ends inward. So that the lengths from the intersection point to both edges are roughly equal. Secure it with glue. Fold it in half again. Stagger slightly to make the opening at the end about 0.5 centimeters, or adjust according to personal preference. Secure the folding point with glue. That completes one short ribbon. Everyone can make another one of the short ends of the ribbons, as established. After completing, cut a piece of satin ribbon with a length of 50 centimeters. Keep the shiny side facing away from you. And fold both ends down at the middle point simultaneously. The distance between the two folding points should be about 0.5 centimeters. With both sides roughly parallel and equal in length. Secure the folding points with glue. Trim an angle at the end. And burn it slightly with fire. This will serve as the long ribbon for later use. That concludes the explanation of the ribbons. Next, we'll start assembling. I'll explain using one side as an example. Let's start by assembling the main pendant. Then we'll attach the ribbons and the duckbill clip. Next, please watch me demonstrate the specific assembly method. Take out the fan piece with the right side facing you. Glue 2 leaves onto the small circle at the fan handle, with their tips pointing outward, showing half of their length. The 2 leaves should be placed one above the other, with their tips spread out. Everyone can refer to the finished product, or make adjustments according to personal preference. To determine the position, glue the leaves on the position corresponding to the fan handle. After it's done, take the small flower. Apply glue to the center of the short needle circle on the wrong side. Attach it on the left side of the leaf. Holding down part of the leaf, roughly keeping it in the fan handle area. The petal part should not be glued, and press it securely. Take out the fine sewing thread, and insert it into the needle with the golden tail. I've already prepared this here. Take the fan and place it horizontally on the left side. Sew the pendant on the edge of the wrong side of the fan-shaped fabric piece, right below the center of the small flower, where it corresponds. Mind to keeping the sewing thread from showing on the right side. Pay attention to this point when sewing the pendant accessories at the back. I won't repeat it anymore. Sew securely. Tie off at the end. Weave in the ends. And that's how you secure the pendant. Next, take out the duckbill clip and the long ribbon. Orient the duckbill clip with the opening facing left, with the shiny side of the ribbon ends facing yourself, and the ends pointing downwards. Secure them in the middle position slightly above, corresponding to the axis of the duckbill clamp. Then stick a short ribbon on each side, at the crease of the long ribbon. Slightly unfold the two short ribbons. Maintain symmetry. And try not to block the long ribbon. You can match it with the fan. The final effect should be that the ribbons are roughly gathered at the corresponding position of the fan handle. Or you can make adjustments according to your personal preference. Secure everything firmly with glue. Once done, take out the assembled main piece, with the right side facing you. Align the edge with the pendant, and stick it together with the duckbill clip. Place the pendant at the middle position, between the two long ribbon ends. Secure it using a glue stick. Press firmly to ensure it's secure. The method for making the other hair clip is the same. Pay attention to the symmetrical direction of the fan handle and leaves. Attach the pendant on the right side of the fan fabric piece. When assembling, make sure the fan handle faces left. Then assemble the small flowers and leaves symmetrically. The method has been explained earlier. You can all complete it on your own. After completion, the hair clip ribbons will have two forms, long and short. The long version is what it looks like when finished. For the short version, trim the long ribbons to about half the length. After trimming, burn the ends slightly to seal them. The technique is relatively simple. You can trim according to your personal preference. That concludes the tutorial for hair clip number 1. Next, let's make hair clip number 2. It is divided into the main part, the ribbons, and accessory assembly. First, complete the main part, then make the ribbons. Finally, assemble everything together. The main part consists of small flowers, the leaves and butterflies. The making method for the small flowers and leaves here is the same as for hair clip number 1. Please refer to the previous demonstration and pattern chart to crochet one small flower and one leaf. Then set them aside for later use. Next, crochet the butterfly. It consists of wings and antennae. After completing each part separately, assemble them together. The new stitches used include treble crochet and double treble crochet. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, take out the corresponding color of yarn. Start with a magic ring. Then crochet 3 chain stitches. Then work 3 treble crochets in the large space of the starting chain. Let's start with the first stitch. Yarn over twice. Insert into the loop. Yarn over and draw through. There are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat 3 times total. 1, 2, 3. Treble crochet completed. Crochet another treble crochet, yarn over twice. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Repeat this step 3 times. The second treble crochet is complete. Continue with the third treble crochet. After completing, crochet 3 chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch into the starting loop. Slightly tighten. We consider these 3 treble crochets, along with the 3 chain stitches crocheted before and after, and the final slip stitch, as a small wing. Next, crochet 4 more chain stitches. Then work 4 double treble crochets. Let's start with the first one. Yarn over 3 times. Insert into the loop. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 double treble crochet is now complete. Move on to the second double treble crochet. Yarn over 3 times. Insert your hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Repeat 4 times. Another double treble crochet is now complete. Continue with 2 more double treble crochets. After completing them, crochet 4 chain stitches. Work 1 slip stitch into the starting chain loop. Tighten it slightly. We consider these 4 double crochets, along with the 4 chain stitches crocheted before and after, and the final slip stitch. As one large wing, move downward. Crochet another large wing and a small wing in sequence. If there's not enough room, shift the stitch pattern a little to the right. Secure with 1 chain stitch after completion. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, then cut the yarn. Finally, close the yarn loop. And try to tighten it as much as possible. The side with the clearer braid-like texture will be considered the right side. Tie the beginning and ending yarn tails with a double knot. Ensure it is securely fastened. Weave in the ends on the wrong side by yourself. This concludes the explanation of the wings section. Next, we'll work on the antennae. Take out the corresponding color yarn. Leave a 15 cm yarn tail. Start with 5 foundation chains. Then pick up the top half needle of the second to last stitch, and work back. Crochet 4 slip stitches in sequence. Do not pull these slip stitches too tight. After completing this step, work another 5 chain stitches. Work back. From the second to last stitch, pick up the top half loop of the chains, and make 4 loose slip stitches. Finally, pull the reserved yarn tail through the loop. Tighten the yarn. Leave a 15 cm tail and cut. The antennae are now completed. The side with the braid-like texture clearer should be regarded as the right side. Take the crocheted wing piece with the right side facing you. Place the large wing on top. Pass the reserved sewing yarn from the center of the back side to the front side of the piece through the antennae. Adjust the antennae so that the right side is facing you. Then pass the reserved sewing yarn from the midpoint of the antennae to the back side. Tighten and tidy up. Then loop between the 2 small wings and pass the yarn from the center of the front side to the back side. Tie a knot. And weave in the ends by yourself. Finally, unfold the wings, and tidy them up. That concludes the explanation of the butterfly. Next, let's make the ribbons. Cut one piece of thin satin ribbon to a length of 30 centimeters. The sample swatch is already cut. Trim both ends into a slanted angle. Burn the edges with fire to seal them. With the shiny side facing down, and the wrong side toward you, leave 10 centimeters on one end. Right here, fold both sides downward. Make sure the shiny side faces you. The other end should be about 20 centimeters. Once completed, secure the folded part with some glue. Make another ribbon end, as established. Remember to leave 20 centimeters first. Then fold it. This ribbon will be opposite in length arrangement, compared to the previous one. That concludes the tutorial on ribbons. Start assembling after completion. Take the duckbill clamp, with the opening facing left, attach 2 ribbons on the middle of the duckbill clip, with the short sides on both sides. The shiny side facing yourself, and secure them firmly. Then, at the opening end, expose half of the leaf, with the tip pointing outward, and glue it on horizontally. Next, take the small flower, apply glue to the center area on its back, and attach it tightly to the right side of the leaf. After that, take the butterfly you made, angle it to the left, and glue it on the right side of the small flower, slightly covering it. Position the ends of the ribbons roughly in the middle of the small flower, leaf, and butterfly, or adjust according to your personal preference. Everyone can secure them in place with glue. Last, take out 2 larger beads and weave them into the ends of the 2 short ribbons separately. Here, I'll demonstrate the method for threading beads, using a small sample. In reality, the ribbons are already attached. Take a piece of fine thread and thread it through the yarn needle. Tie a knot. Cut a pointed tip at the end, where you need to thread the beads. Then insert the sewing needle and pass it through the knotted loop. Next, pass it through the bead. This way, the ribbon also goes through the bead. Remove the sewing thread. Trim the end neatly. Finish it off with a flame treatment. Move the bead about 3-4 centimeters from the end, or adjust according to your personal preference. If you're worried the bead might not be secure, you can apply some glue at the securing spot to fix it. Alternatively, tie a knot below the bead directly. This will block the bead and prevent it from falling off. Everyone chooses a fixing method, according to your own actual situation. Make the other hair clip symmetrically. Attach the duckbill clip with the opening facing right, and install the leaves, small flowers, and butterflies in sequence from right to left. The butterfly should be angled to the right. If you want to make a shorter ribbon, follow the same method as number 1. The technique is quite simple. Please refer to the previous demonstration to complete it on your own. That concludes the explanation for hair clip number 2. Let's move on to making the number 3 hairpin, which is divided into 3 parts: the main piece, the pendant, and the assembly. Start by crocheting and making the main piece. Then create the pendant and assemble everything together. The main piece includes small flowers, leaves, and large flowers. The making method for the small flowers and leaves refers to hair clip number 1. Make 1 small flower and 1 leaf for later use. Next, let's learn how to crochet the large flower. Use the magic ring technique. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Crochet the petals in the last round. The new stitch used is the treble crochet increase TR2-in-1. Please watch me demonstrate the specific crochet method. First, start with a magic ring. Make 5 single crochets. Then close the magic ring. Slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Here, the slip stitch needs to be tightened to avoid extra crocheting later. The first round is now complete. Next, move on to the second round. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain. Then make a single crochet increase, SC2-in-1. Continue to work the corresponding stitches with single crochet increases, and finish this round. Finally, slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. The second round is now complete. Continue on to the third round. Start with 1 chain as the beginning chain, then work 1 single crochet into the same stitch. Moving downward, work a single crochet increase in the adjacent stitch. Complete this round by alternating between 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase, according to the corresponding stitch at the back. Finish with a slip stitch. Pull tight. The third round is now done. After completing, check the number of stitches. Next, move on to the fourth round. Start with 2 chain stitches. Then work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Then work a treble crochet increase, TR2-in-1, in the adjacent stitch on the left, which means working 2 treble crochets in the same stitch. 1. 2. The treble crochet increase is now completed. Continue by working 1 double crochet in the adjacent stitch below. Then make 2 chain stitches. Finally, slip stitch back into the same stitch. Slightly tighten. We consider this treble crochet increase, the 2 side double crochets, and 2 chain stitches, as well as the final slip stitch, as one group of petals. Continue crocheting these petals below. Start with 2 chain stitches. Then work 1 double crochet to the left. Next, on the left adjacent stitch, work 1 treble crochet increase. Then hook 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Make 2 chain stitches. And finally join with a slip stitch to the same stitch. Tighten it slightly. This way, the second petal is crocheted. Continue crocheting 3 petals, as established. After finishing the last slip stitch of the final petal, slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Tighten. Weave in the ends on the wrong side by yourself. The side with clear braid texture is used as the right side. That's how you finish the large flower. Next, we will make the pendant. There are 2 kinds, the pom-pom pendant and the teardrop pendant. Let's make them one by one. First, thread the fine sewing thread through the needle, and tie a knot to setting it aside for later use. Next, take out the metal chain. Cut a length of about 4 cm from one end of the chain. Pass the needle through the metal ring at one end of the chain. Then pass it back through the knotted loop. Next, thread it through a pom-pom. The color of the sample pom-pom is not for reference. This is just to demonstrate the method. Go back and forth several times. Pull slightly. Pay attention to make sure the sewing thread doesn't show. Try to work the yarn in one area to keep the pom-pom round. Finally, tie off with a knot. Hide the thread inside the pom-pom. The pom-pom pendant is now complete. The teardrop pendant is made in the identical way as the pendant. In the previous clip number 1, start from one end and cut 2 lengths of 2 cm chain. The placement of metal beads is random. No need for deliberate arrangement, just make sure there are metal rings on both ends. The bead stringing order goes from bottom to top, starting with the metal bead, then the teardrop pearl, followed by a smaller pearl. Prioritize using the beads you cut earlier, along with chains of appropriate lengths. Everyone can refer to the finished product, and make 2 teardrop pendants, according to the method demonstrated before. After completing all the parts, start assembling them. First, thread the thin sewing yarn through the needle. Sew the pom-pom pendant on the edge of the wrong side, in the middle of any petal of the large flower. Then sew the teardrop pendants on either side of the pom-pom pendant. which is also on the back of the petals, on both sides. Try to keep the bottom end as level as possible. There's no specific requirement for the method, just make sure it's sewn securely. Apply glue to the center of the small flower's back side, then attach it to the center of the large flower's front side, matching up the petals. Press firmly to secure. This completes the assembly of the small and large flower pendant. Then take out the leaf and the duckbill clip. The opening of the duckbill clip faces left, at the corresponding position, above the connection axis, with the leaf tip facing right, showing about half of the leaf, tilting slightly upwards, and secure it at the farthest right position with glue. Then take out the assembled main part with large and small flowers. Glue it in the middle of the hair clip. Pay attention to keeping the pendant vertically downward. The pom-pom pendant should be roughly at the center line of the hair clip. Make the other one symmetrically using the same method. Mind that the opening of the duckbill clip faces right. Glue the corresponding leaves on the left side. Maintaining symmetry. You can refer to the previous demonstration and complete it on your own. That concludes the explanation for hair clip number 3. Next, let's make hair clip number 4. It is divided into the main part, pendant, and accessory assembly, 3 sections in total. Start by crocheting and making the main part. Then create the pendant and assemble everything together. The main part consists of small flowers, leaves, and circular motifs. The making method for the small flowers and leaves here is identical to the one for hair clip number 1 that was shown before. Everyone can refer to the previous demonstration and chart. Make 1 small flower and 3 leaves for later use. Next, let's learn how to crochet the circular motifs. The method is identical to the first 2 rounds of the large flower, but with a different stitch count. You'll need to fasten off at the end. Please follow the previous demonstration and refer to the chart to complete the first 2 rounds of crocheting. My sample is already crocheted here. I will demonstrate the fastening off method next. First, work 1 slip stitch. Don't pull it too tight. Stretch the loop. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail and cut the yarn below the second stitch on the left side. Hook the yarn to the wrong side. Then hook the yarn to the wrong side again. From the center of the slip stitch braid, slightly tighten to keep the texture of the braids consistent on both sides. Then weave in the ends on the wrong side by yourself. Attach a half bead at the center of the right side. That concludes the explanation for the circle motif. Now let's make the pendant, which consists of beads and metal chains, with 2 long and 2 short chains. The method is identical to the assembling of pendant number 1. The difference lies in the lengths of the chains and the intervals of the beads. Cut the chain at the top of the long pendant to 3 centimeters. Randomly cut the metal beads on the chain. No deliberate arrangement is needed. Make sure there are metal rings on both ends. You can refer to the finished product or cut the chain according to your own preference. Then connect a small white bead. The bottom chain should be 1 centimeter long. Connect a larger pearl at the end. Take 3 centimeters of chain for the short pendant. Connect a smaller pearl. The method is relatively simple. Everyone can refer to the previous demonstration and make 2 pendants of each length. Now let's start assembling. First, sew a short pendant in the middle between the first round and the second round, on the wrong side of the circle motif. I've already sewn it on my sample here. Then, with the right side facing you and the pendant hanging vertically downward, sew a large pearl on the back edge of the lower left corner. Note that when actually sewing, since it is flipped to the wrong side, you will sew at the lower right corner. Finally, everyone ties a knot to secure it firmly. This way, the large pearl is attached. Then, on the back, between two of the small flower's petals, sew a short pendant. Between the first and second rounds. Next, sew one long pendant each. On the back in the middle of the left and right petals. After that, face the front side of the small flower towards yourself, letting the pendants hang vertically, with their bottom ends roughly level. Finally, sew a larger pearl on the edge of the right lower corner of the right petal's backside, using the same method as for the circular pearl piece. I will not repeat the demonstration. Everyone can sew the pendants and pearls on your own. Once completed, take out the duckbill clamp, with the opening facing left. Separately attach 2 leaves on the left side and the top left side. On the right side, attach a leaf at the corresponding position on the top of the hair clip connecting shaft, with all the pointed shapes facing outward, exposing half of the leaves. After completing, attach the circle motif on the right side of the left leaf. Note that you only need to apply glue at the middle round of single crochets on the wrong side. Align the pearls on the circle motif with the hair clip roughly level. Then, glue the small flowers closely to the circle, allowing the pendant to hang vertically downward. Keep the gaps between the tassels roughly the same, and make sure the bottoms of the 2 short pendants are roughly level. You can refer to the finished product, or assemble according to your personal preference. To complete, make the other one symmetrically, as established. Mind the arrangement order of the large flowers, circular patterns, and leaves. Please refer to the finished product and the previous demonstration. Complete another hair clip. This concludes the explanation for hair clip number 4. Next, let's make hair clip number 5, which divided into the main part, bud tassels, and assemble these 3 parts. Start by crocheting and making the main part. Then make the tassels and assemble them. The main part includes small flowers and leaves. Make 3 small flowers and 4 leaves, according to the previous demonstration and charts, and set them aside for later use. Next, make the tassels. There are 2 of them, composed of buds, metal pearls, water drop beads, and small pearls. The making method is identical, but the number of beads is different. The leaf buds need to be crocheted. Let's first learn how to crochet the leaf buds. After completing them, assemble them into tassels. Below, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crochet method. Take the corresponding color of yarn. Begin with a magic ring. Then work 2 chain stitches. Then work 1 double crochet in the starting loop. The V-shaped 2 lines on the right side of the double crochet are the stitches of the double crochet. Then make 1 chain stitch. Next, pick up 1 thread in front of the double crochet stitch, and 1 thread on the left side below, and work 1 slip stitch. Don't pull too tight. Continue with 2 chain stitches. Slip stitch back to the starting ring. Slightly tighten. Then repeat the process again. Start with 2 chain stitches, followed by 1 double crochet stitch, and 1 chain stitch. Then pick up 1 thread from the front of the double crochet stitch, and 1 thread from the bottom left, and work 1 loose slip stitch. Work 2 more chain stitches. Finish with 1 slip stitch. Pull tight. Leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and cut the yarn. Then secure the loop. Weave in the ends on the right side. Fold it in half from the middle, with the wrong side facing out. This completes one bud. Everyone follows the same method and refers to the pattern. To crochet 5 more buds for reserve. After completing them, start assembling. Take the same color yarn as the crocheted buds. Pull out one strand. Thread it into a sewing needle. Tie a knot. Following the method for pendant number 1, first secure the metal bead. You can use the beads that were removed when cutting the chain previously, or cut again. Insert the water drop bead. Then thread 3 groups I, in the order of 1 small pearl and 1 bud. Then leave a length of about 1.5 centimeters and sew it to the approximate edge position on the back of one of the small flower petals. Thread the bud and beads on the other tassel in the same way, adding 1 more small pearl at the end. Then, leave about 2 centimeters of length to sew it onto the center of the wrong side of another small flower. The method is quite simple. You can all complete it on your own. The tassel sewn onto the small flowers and added 1 more bead, considered as a long tassel. The other one is for the short tassel. That concludes the explanation of the bud tassels. After completing all parts, start assembling. Make the opening of the duckbill clip face left and press at the far right end of the clamp position. Glue a small leaf horizontally, with its tip pointing right, exposing about half of its length. Then, about 1 centimeter away from the opening, secure a leaf on both the top and bottom, with their tips pointing outward, slightly angled. Next, fix another leaf between the top leaf and the rightmost leaf, tilting it slightly to the right. You can also make adjustments according to your personal preference. After securing the leaves, start attaching the small flowers. Begin by attaching the flowers at both ends. Mind that the small flowers with short tassels should be glued on the side of the opening. On the other end, attach the flowers without tassels. The 2 small flowers should be roughly level in position. Lastly, glue the small flowers with long tassels at the upper middle position, and the whole should be in an arc shape. The gaps between the petals face the leaves, trying to expose part of the leaves. The leaves below should be between 2 tassels. You can also make adjustments according to your own preference. The making method for the other hair clip is the same, but the assembly positions of the tassels and small flowers are symmetrical to this one. Assemble by referring to the direction of the duckbill opening. You can refer to the finished product and the previous demonstration to complete it. That concludes the explanation for hair clip number 5. The Chinese Aesthetics series, the Prosperous Flowers hair accessories, the floral version, has now been fully explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next episode.